Yo guys, good evening.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi.
Hi to you. How are you?
Hi. Hi, everyone.
Great. Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to our Investors Coffee Time at 8 p.m. Today, Saturday, we have a special guest. I'm hearing some feedback.
Can you hear feedback?
Yeah. Okay, I think better now.
Yeah.
All right. So, welcome to Investors Coffee Time at 8 p.m. Today, we have a special guest, Mr. Yong Chu Eu, who has written a book on personal finance, right? And of course, he's also a certified, personal finance guy, and he's also been conducting a lot of industry workshops on finance. So we are really glad to have you here today, to you, and I hope that today's session will help those who are contemplating to take a loan moratorium. Hopefully that they have an idea on what to do if those who already took they opt in for that loan, right? Basically want to know what can they do with it, all right? Or if those who do not want to take it and you want just basically weigh in the pros and cons, right, on the moratorium. Okay, so before we start, let me just go and share my screen first. Okay, so disclaimer, right? Please take note that whatever that is discussed today is based on not investment advice, but it's just for educational and informational purposes only. If you want to get a professional advice, please approach a licensed professional advice or licensed and professional investment advisor. All right. And for those who just join us, please do like our Facebook page if you want to get notifications for our live sessions and future live sessions as well. And if you want to get any updates from us, please like our Facebook page, because we're going to have our coffee time every day at 8 p.m. All right. Please like our Facebook page and make sure you follow us, and the notification is set on so that you are able to get the notifications. All right. And if you are on YouTube, you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Equities Tracker. So just search for Equities Tracker on YouTube and click the subscribe button so that you are able to get notifications as well. All right. Okay, so we're gonna start off first with Chu Eu. I think you got a presentation slides ready for us, right? And
yeah.
Okay, so you can actually share your slides, and then Faiz will get it up so that the others can follow. Are you able to get the slides up? Okay, you're also on a mute now. Can you unmute your?
Oh yeah. I already shared. Yep.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so Chu Eu, you're going to share with us in a short while, right? I think those who have questions to present, you can just continue to ask those questions to him, right? And then we will bring those questions to Chu Eu so they can answer questions. Okay? So please do ask a question of the section as he presents. All right, Chu Eu, so I leave it to you now. Maybe you can start the presentation later with questions to you.
I can share already, right?
Yeah, he's already there. So you can share now. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. It's my honor to be here to share something about this so-called loan moratorium. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Alvin, Benny, and Equity Tracker for these invitations. So actually, I think most of you know about this loan moratorium. So actually, it was announced by Bank Negara that after our MCO, that we allow us like individual and SME to have option to defer their loan and financing repayment from April to September 2020. So until today, okay, so the interest still chargeable, especially for those like SME loan, housing loan, during these 6 months. Okay, but it will not compounding. Okay, they will not have a so-called compounding effect on that. But actually, whether with or without, actually not much different. So at least during this period of time, you don't have the option, you don't have the compulsory to pay the loan, especially during this critical time. Okay, but those 6 months of the accumulated interest will be added into the outstanding principal. Okay, so when compared with the high purchase, there will be no interest charge because high purchase actually is a flat rate. So it's just extend another 6 months. Okay, means that maybe you end in certain years, you will extend another 6 months. So nothing much different actually in terms of amount that you want to repay. You need to repay it back. Okay, so a lot of people that confuse. Okay, the house loan and also the high purchase. Housing loan actually is based on the effective rate is roughly 4 to 5. Okay, if we based on the 30 years of loan, now actually is even lower than that because of the Bank of Ghana just cut the interest rate to about 2%. Okay, so actually this example that illustrate here under the house loan actually is 450 based on the 4.66. In actual fact, it's actually smaller than that over the 30 years. So you can see that if we compound all together, the total repayment actually is 838,000. So you'll be quite surprised that you pay so much for that, and the interest alone actually is 388,000. Okay, so actually the repayment is 2,000 plus. The effective rate for this interest actually is 6.21. When compared with the high purchase, actually the effective rate was slightly higher if you based on 3%. Okay, but high purchase a bit different because it's applied the so-called flat interest rate. Let's assume that we have 84,000. So for interest rate that you pay is 3.4. Let's say you apply the loan for 7 years. So if you time 3.4 over the 1 year, the total interest actually is 2,000 plus, multiplied by 7 years. So you will compound, add out together with 84,000. Then you will divide the 84 months. Then that is your monthly repayment. So if we compare apple with apple, it's like 6.27. So for high purchase, actually is slightly higher. There isn't much difference between these two because, I mean, if we compare effective rate, okay? But for higher purchase, actually the interest is based on when the time that you start to apply the loan, you get the loan. But for housing loan, it will float. It's actually there are two different types of housing loan. One is the fixed, another one is floating. Floating based on the interest that announced by Bank Negara. It will float up and down. Currently, actually is only 2%. Okay. So for high purchase, actually not much different. Why? Because it's already in the agreement, in the contract. So after, if you opt in for this, so-called holiday, okay, repayment holiday for 6 months, actually it just extend another 6 months. It won't add anything to that. But housing loan, it will be a little bit different, especially during this period of time. Actually, the interest rate is lower than that. So we can see the repayment actually is lower than that. Okay, so you from this so-called house loan, actually you pay 800 plus thousand. But if we calculate in your house value, let's assume it's 450,000 during that time when you apply the loan. 30 years after the loan, actually your house value is actually 2.5 million. Why? Because I'm using a 6%. Average, generally, Malaysia house value actually appreciate about 6 to 8%. So I put a very conservative 6%. So a lot of time when you want to compare between the housing loan and also the higher purchase, so a lot of time, let's say you go to see a car, everything, then they will give you so-called a high purchase loan. Then let's say for this example, it's 3.4. Okay, it depends on what kind of car that you go for. It can be a foreign car or a local car. So they will give you a so-called, normally local car will have a higher interest rate. So you time 1.8. Okay, rule of thumb, actually the faster ways to compound, I mean put into an apple to apple figure compared with housing loan, actually you time 1.8. Okay, so this is how you compare each other's. Okay, so just now I mentioned to you about
just a question.
Yeah.
So you're saying that if let's say you have a HP loan, which is a higher purchase loan, let's say it says 5% now or 4%, you multiply by 1.8 roughly to get an effective rate. Is that right? Effective compounding rate.
Yeah, actually, this is in the CFP training. Normally, this is so-called a faster way, but the most accurate one, you still need to use a financial calculator.
Okay, thank you.
So that is a faster way, just in case that you go to supermarket, then someone introduce about the car and also the loan, then you can straight away times 1.8. So that is the faster way. Plus or minus, they will be a little bit different, but the most accurate one, you still need to use the financial calculator.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. So these are the two different. Okay. So just I mentioned about whether the interest is compound or not compound, actually not much different. Okay. So actually you have the three main options. Okay. The options ones is either you leave. Okay. You are opt out. Okay. So means that you still continue pay the same amount. Okay. No different. Everything same as usual. Or you can choose to take for the option 2, which you take the loan, okay, but you pay it off lump sum, means in October. All the interest compound for April until September, you pay full in October. Okay, then you continue pay the same amount afterwards. Okay, or you take the option 3. Okay, you still do nothing. Okay, you didn't pay anything for this 6 months, but you still continue paying the same amount on October. So on October, you still pay the same amount, but the loan will be extended for another 6 months. So that is the 3 main difference. Okay. So actually for my presentations, I won't focus too much on the number. So I will focus on something beyond the number. I will share something about I will guide you to see beyond the number. So I won't put too much of differentiations between whether option 1 is better than option 2 or better than option 3, how much you save. Okay, I won't go to that detail. Okay, but before you decide option 1, 2, 3, I will give you a big picture about what we are facing now. Okay, anyone have questions just now?
Yeah, there's one question here.
Yeah.
From Jacinta.
Okay.
She's asking what is effective rate. I think she don't understand the difference between effective rate.
What is the difference between effective rate compared with the interest rate that they mentioned, right, in the agreement or so-called in the loan contract, right?
Yep, that's right.
Okay, so effective rate normally because when we talk about loan, housing loan, is compound. It is in the compounding. It is not a simple interest. It's compounding interest mode. So it will compound based on the yearly, monthly, or daily basis. So that's why you see that in the effective rate, because you pay every month. And for housing loan, actually is calculate. The loan amount actually is calculated based on your remaining balance together with the interest rate. Okay, together with the interest. So you see that the number is, it will adjust accordingly based on the interest that you have. While where else the car interest actually is a little bit different. Okay, because it's already factored in, it's just time with how much percentage over a year, then it times how many years that you get. So it depends on during that time, what is the interest rate during that time. So it only time over. Okay, so these are 2 different loans. Their calculation a little bit different. So in order to compare apple, you need to put it into effective rates. So through the financial calculator, you can put it into so-called amortizations in the housing loan, and you can compare with the so-called housing loan, so that you can compare which one better, which one lower. Okay, so that is the difference. Okay.
All right, can go on.
Okay, so before we choose for option 1, 2, or 3, let me give you an overview. What kind of a crisis that now we are facing? Okay, before we decide option 1 or 2. Okay, so now what we are facing now actually the worst crisis in this 100 year. Okay, I'm not here to scare you, but this is something very similar like 100 years ago that we faced a so-called Spanish flu. Okay, it's during that time, 1918, 1916. This Spanish flu actually lasts for more than 2 years. Okay, during that time we are not so connected to each other because we don't have a so-called we are not connected. We are not so close connected each other through the globalization, transport technology. Okay, that time the virus actually attack the global. I mean, it come into a so-called three wave. Okay, three wave. So, or we say 3 round. Okay, so it lasts for 2 years. So now for this COVID-19, now it's just a first strike. Okay, a lot of people, a lot of experts suggest that there will be a second wave. Okay, just a matter of time. So we don't know. Okay, so don't underestimate the challenge that we're going to face for this COVID-19. Okay, so a lot of people very happy that now is like everything under control. Actually, still early to comment, and we still don't know when the second attack will come in. It might be another attack also. So because the virus can be mutated from time to time. So if our life will be pretty much different because of this, and we still need to continue practice social distancing, and also all the things will be different. Even how we communicate each other, the business model also pretty much different. Okay, so some experts even suggest that even we have the vaccine, okay, some people suggest it will be in this September or even December by year end or next year. How about the effective rate? The effectiveness of the vaccine, one. Second, will the virus mutate? If the virus mutate, then the vaccine might not work. Okay, in order to have a high percentage effective rate of the vaccine, it might take about 5 years and plus, 5 years and above. Okay, and I think most people still focus on COVID-19 while there are a lot of problems around. Okay, maybe in other region. Okay, maybe you are not aware of it because if you see from a very broad perspective, you can see that now US and China in a conflict. Okay, this is a very common conflict between the number 1 and number 2 superpower or superpower in terms of economy or military, number 1 and number 2. So the something that worry me is about the war between these two. Okay, the war between these two big brother. Okay, and because the global business lockdown, okay, or so-called all the economy slow down, it will contribute a lot of problem. If you stay at home, means that a lot of people lose their job, and it will contribute a lot of social problem, and it can lead to a political instability. I think in Malaysia we have seen that the politics each other's also not so stable. Some state also change their government. Okay, their governed party. Okay, and we in the Africa and even some country, okay, they have a so-called locust attack. It might cause a so-called food crisis. Okay, bear in mind that Malaysia we still 30% depends on import food. Okay, and most of the country, even in company, also they are in a huge debt. Okay. And you can see that during this year, actually this year is very critical. All will come together, especially the natural disaster. I believe that you still recall. I think like yesterday there is an earthquake in Ottawa in US, earthquake, and some in other area in Indonesia island. So the more challenge we will face, and it will come together in this year, especially even one of it is the extreme weather. And in Africa, actually, the Ebola also come together. So in Africa, they are facing a 3 crises in the same time. Okay, not only the COVID-19, Ebola, and also the food crisis, actually due to the locust attack. Okay, so if you combine all together, I think there is another one, maybe you are not aware. We will face more and more virus. Okay, some virus that we are not encountered before. Okay, some virus we are not encountered before because of the global warming. Okay, because of the melting of the iceberg, a lot of the virus will be released to the atmosphere. Okay, of course, we also, because of the development, we have taken over more and more land in the Amazon forest. So means that we are even closer to the animals. Okay, so to a certain extent, it might lead to more and more virus that we're going to face. So combining all the things that we face, actually, to a certain extent, that it might link back to you in terms of this so-called loan moratorium. Which one to choose? Okay, so I would suggest that actually based on there's a lot of things that we're going to face. There are so many challenges, and it might take more than 3 to 5 years. Maybe you think that just this year only, but actually in reality, the challenge might last for 3 to 5 years. So if you factor in all the risks in, okay, yeah, actually in Chinese word, 危机 actually is together danger and opportunity. It depends how you see from which angle. Okay, danger also means equal to opportunity if you're able to take the opportunity. Okay, it depends how you see. Some people see 危机, dangers and opportunity, the crisis, they will worry. But some people see this danger as or so-called crisis as an opportunity. So it depends on how you see it, whether you're able to take the opportunity on it or not. So whether to take it or not, it depends on just now the macro economy, the overall, the global, what kind of challenge that you are faced. If you see from all together, okay, all the things come together, then you understand that actually the most, okay, I would suggest that you should take it, okay, based on because the crisis might last for 3 to 5 years, okay. It can be, you can use it to reinforce your cash flow, because a lot of people, they don't have, especially in Malaysia, most of them, they don't have the emergency fund in place to prepare them for any crisis, even losing their job, okay? So a lot of people, they don't have any emergency fund in place. So this 3 to 6 months is the good time, okay? You stop the loan, you start to build out your emergency fund or reinforce your cash flow. You don't know how long the crisis will last, okay? It can be a few years, or it can be, I don't think it will be 1 year. It can be more than that, because a lot of experts also suggest that, okay? Some even suggest 3 to 5 years, okay? So it's very important to reinforce your cash flow and emergency fund, especially for more than 50% of Malaysians who don't have the emergency fund in place, okay? Then some people might take it as an opportunity to do any proper investment ready for the crisis, because during this time, all the assets are far below the value. This is the time you buy or invest. But also you need to go back, like referring to what Warren Buffett said. Even as a fundamentalist, you must understand that now you need to be very extreme careful, and you must have a long-term horizon of thinking, at least 5 years above. So a lot of people ask me, if this crisis lasts for 3 to 5 years, what kind of investment I should invest? Actually, it's up to you, but you must have the mentality. Do a careful screening, okay? Because you must understand, this COVID-19 already changed everything, no matter the lifestyle, even the business strategy, business model, all change, okay? Some of the industry might not able to survive. So you must do a very careful screening, okay, to choose which one to go for. You see, property, a lot of people thinking that, let's say give you an example. Let's say property, maybe you're thinking that property should be the one you should go for. Then a lot of people in property, they're thinking that shop lot is the one that gives a best rental, okay? But because of the COVID-19, a lot of people move everything online. So to a certain extent, you might not require a so-called shop lot or office. You can work from home. I just give you a computer, internet, then you can connect you can connect each other and you can work from home. To a certain extent, do I need an office? No. I just came across one co-working space just closed down. because of this COVID-19. Co-working space, you know, it's very hot now before the COVID. Now it's like totally become another perspective, another downside already. So you must do a proper screening before you do a proper investment. You can take opportunity. It's like just how I mentioned to you. Now the interest rate is only 2%. To a certain extent, you might consider, but that is for those very advanced investor. They might thinking to borrow the loan to do some investment. Okay, because now interest rate at the history low. It's like equal to global financial crisis during that time, only 2%. Some research even suggests that it will drop further. Okay, and if you are smart enough for housing loan and you stop for these 6 months, this money you accumulate, you can clear those high interest debt, especially the credit card or personal loan, because that loan about 10% and above. But for housing loan, it's just about 5. Because of interest rate getting lower and lower, if you are free float, your interest rate, actually you can use that. You stop for 6 months, then you can go to pay off your credit card or even the personal loan, which have a higher interest rate. Or maybe you can work with the so-called bank to restructure your debt, especially those high interest rate debt, credit card, personal loan, and etc. So this is the moment that you can do that, to do the loan restructuring. Okay, I believe that this is something so-called the wealth mentality. Okay, but there is no I won't say it's wrong if you leave it, you continue pay as normal, provided that you already have enough cash flow or so-called emergency fund in place. 3 to 6 months for employment, or 6 to 9 months for freelance or entrepreneur or so business owner, at least 6 to 9 months. Okay, if you have this fundamental, then I also want to suggest one thing to you. If you are employment or you are the business owner, you need to restudy back your business model, business strategy, whether your company can survive or not. Okay, this is very critical, especially during that time. Okay, whether the goods, the materials still needed after the COVID-19, or our social distancing still continue practice for another 1 year or 2 years. Will your company survive or not? After the COVID-19, I think lifestyle also will change. Okay, so this is how you need to study. Okay, whether you can survive, whether you are ready for that. Okay, if you are not, then I believe that you should take it. Okay, because for these 6 months, actually, in terms of interest, is not much. You must see the value beyond the number. Okay, maybe you're thinking that if I take it, I need to pay longer period of time, another 6 months, and you might attract more interest to a certain extent. But you must look beyond the meaning, the value that you get, especially during this crisis, the peace of mind, the investment, something that gives you, as long as it is more than 6%, to a certain extent, actually you are taking advantage on it. Okay, so that is the big difference. So you can see actually Malaysia interest rate actually hitting the history low, like during the global financial crisis 08 and 09. Okay, so this is all my sharing about this so-called what is that? Moratorium. Whether you want to take it or not, or leave it. Okay.
So you are basically suggesting to take it because there's actually there's no difference in paying additional interest, right? It's just basically paying a little bit longer just because you get a 6 months leave, and then after that you continue your loan again, and then you just pay, your loan is continued for another extra 6 months. That's all, but there's no additional interest, right?
For housing loan, they might have some different. They might have some different for a housing loan, but for the high purchase, those fixed loan, not much different.
Okay.
You can study further. But I believe that if the floating, like a housing loan, that it might a little bit change. It might have a little bit different. but you see from a broad perspective, like effective rate for housing loan is only 5% plus 4 to 5. So if the interest rate further cut to certain extent, actually is maybe 4 to 5 only. So if you can do something, either investment or something like your emergency fund or something like debt restructure, it might give you more value than 5%. So I will prefer you look from an overview perspective, then you dig further the number. Okay, how much you save, how much, which one is better. I don't really focus on that actually.
So it's like for those who are in mortgage, right, or housing loans. So if that person already has enough money, I mean, the guy probably has a lot of cash, then it's probably not worthwhile taking it. I mean, he has enough cash already.
Then he can decide to, because some people, they are kind of conservative mindset. They feel that loan is something terrible. Loan is something not good to them. That's why they pay. It's actually no, there is no right or wrong. It's up to them, because some people, they prefer to pay it off early. So if you are, if put into the mentality, into your overview perspective, that if this crisis lasts for 3 to 5 years, do you able to survive or not? If you're able to survive, you no need to worry about losing your job. The business should not be affected. Okay, you won't lose your job for sure. Then you can go for live-in. You can pay as a normal. So this is what I believe.
All right.
Yep.
Is there a difference in payment? If let's say your loan has a long, I'm talking about housing loan. That means if let's say you have a 20 years loan left, and as compared to another guy who has only 5 years left, so the one that has longer tenure some more, do they have to pay more, or the one that is closing towards finishing their payment, or is the same?
This one, actually I didn't dig that far, that detail on that, but apparently the one that still have longer to go, the interest rate will be higher. So to a certain extent, you might pay more. Okay, you might pay more, but it still depends on your bank, So that's why different bank give you a different informations. So the best way, actually, general rule of thumb actually is like this: for this 6 months, you don't need to pay. Okay, if you can choose to pay lump sum after that, or you can pay as a normal after 6 months. Okay, and the only big difference actually is you need to extend another 6 months. That is a general guideline, but every bank might a little bit different. So if you really count in detail, they might a little bit different. But I prefer you to focus on something big instead of focus on those tiny number which make you confused.
All right. Okay.
That is my intention.
So that means you talk about the investment, right? So if someone can have a return more than 6%, then it's worth taking it, right? Because you are able to actually get more from your paying.
Yeah, if you're confident.
All right.
It can be any business. A lot of people, some business, they might having a cash flow problem. So they might ask you to join in as a shareholder. So you can take this opportunity. If you can foresee that this business, the business cycle, the business model can overcome these crises. Will be continued even after the crisis, during or after the crisis. Actually, it's very important to study the business model before you invest, even the stock and property also. So you need to study detail in terms of business model before you do the investment. And the horizon must be more than 5 years.
Okay, guys. I'm just gonna pause here for a while, and for those who are actually interested, to invest and invest in a well-informed manner, then we actually have a platform for you guys to get information. All right, so you can. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to share with you a little bit on what Equity Striker has to offer. First thing is, basically, we actually have a ET online campus where we do online training for those who are interested in investing, right? Because we have actually investing principles and also looking at price charts to make well-informed investment decisions, all right? And this platform is actually for free, okay? Because what we are doing here in Equity Striker is we're actually running a charity drive where you just need to donate a minimum of 100 ringgit, right, to get an access to our ET online campus, and you can make a donation to any charity, right? So keep the receipt, and then if you're interested to join us in our ET online campus where you learn about investing, just go to charity.equitystriker.com. all right? I'm just going to give you the address in a short while. But so far, you guys who have actually already joined us in our charity drive and joined us in our ET online campus where you learn about investing, we have raised about 145,600 ringgit. All right. Of course, we are targeting 250,000 before the MCO is over. Hopefully that we are able to achieve this together with you guys. All right. So if you already have joined us, thank you so much for joining us. And I believe that a lot of you have benefited from going through that online tutorial. And hopefully that you are able to find opportunities to invest and get more than 6%, right? And then it makes worthwhile to have the additional cash. Okay, so let's go to Equity Striker, charity.equitystriker to join us. All right. And at the same time, please share with your friends as well. For those who want to learn about investing, please share this to your friends because this is a charity. You help others and also you help yourself to build the skill of investing. All right. And we also offer a 2 weeks access to our Equity Striker platform. And this is where you get information of public listed companies, right? So you do analysis or research there and find good companies to invest in, right? And you get a lot of other filters and so on and so forth to find companies. There are a lot of companies in Bursa Malaysia. I think Chu has also just mentioned, right? Chu Eu, right? Has also mentioned that markets have gone down. All you need to do is basically to look for companies to invest in, and there are quite a number of them, all right? And of course, if you keep on joining us in our Investors Copy Time and our ET Online Campus, you are able to get a lot of other information, all right? So if you want to get our access to our ET platform, please WhatsApp us at 603-8408-2070, okay? So just WhatsApp us at 603-8408-2070. So that's a WhatsApp number. Right? All you need to do is click on the English freebies, and then from there, you just follow the instructions to get this platform for free in the next 2 weeks. All right?
I think for the viewers, so if you guys want access to Chu Eu's slides, he's agreed to make it available to you guys so you can go and scrutinize and look through it. So yeah, so you can download it from our WhatsApp number as well for free. Yeah.
Okay.
So I have a personal question. I don't know why, but when I do reading about personal finance, a lot of people always say that you must have 6 months emergency funds, right? Why is the magical number 6 months and not 7.5 months, or not 9 months, or not 1 year? Why, just like you said, 3 to 6 for employment, and then 6 to 9 for business owners. Is there a reason why there is such a magical number? I don't know. That's my question.
Oh, okay. Normally, that is the benchmark that most industry that they will tell you like this. And why we put 6 months is because if you are underemployment, at the normal situations, if you're underemployment, if you lose your job, normally in the most situations, you were able to find another job within 6 months. So this is the reason. At the normal situations, normally you can get your job within 6 months.
Okay. And so for business owners, why is that nine months?
Oh, because for the freelance or entrepreneur, normally some people, they might base their income is based on commissions. So in particular month, it might have more income. In another month, it might less. So it depends on the so-called the sales, or some even based on the project. Some project pay in lump sum, some project pay after the end of the project. So it might a little bit different. So you need to prepare more for that.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
So we have a few questions here. All our investors all came for our charity, and now they're armed with the software. They are ready to go invest in stocks because stocks are so cheap, right?
Okay.
So we have a few questions here. So they are very confident in the stocks they want to buy, right? What is your advice? Should they be taking? So so would you, okay, maybe would you then, if you're very confident of the return, would you take a personal loan? And YT Chu here is saying that a lot of banks now are offering quick cash from their credit card, interest rate 2.99 to 3.99 per annum, depending on the banks. What are your thoughts about doing this?
Actually, for the interest rate, the one that they told you actually 2.99 to 3.99. But if you calculate, if you use the financial calculator to calculate, the effective rate should be 4 to 5. Normally, it will be higher for effective rate. So if you factor this in, then to a certain extent that your investment return must be even higher than that.
So if let's say we take 3, for example, so 2.99%, so do I multiply this by 1.8, like what you mentioned earlier?
Housing loan, no. Housing loan, you need to use the financial calculator to calculate it.
Oh no, from credit card.
Yeah, but no, it's different. Only high purchase, the car loan, you can time 1.8.
Okay, so if let's say credit card 2.99, 3.99, is that the effective rate already?
Normally, no, that is not, for sure it's not. If you count the effective rate, I believe that it should be 4 to 5%.
Okay.
Yeah. Normally you are higher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Benny, you got something?
So means that you need to get more return than that, no? If you're confident.
Yeah, because we got a lot of confident viewers now, all want to borrow money to invest in stocks.
But I believe that the worst yet to come.
Okay, you heard it, worst yet to come.
You see, Warren Buffett also still hold his cash. He still not fire the bullet. Okay.
So based on analysis, this is a question from Cheng Kai. Okay. Do you think that the Malaysian interest rate will go lower than 2% or
not? Possible, because I already read one news from one research house. He think by end of this year it will drop further.
Okay, I got another question here. This is from Florence, slightly different. Okay. My guess is this. She's saying, can she take a housing loan for less than 10 years, buy shares and pay back in 5 years, because housing loan is cheaper than share margin financing? So my assumption is this. My assumption is, let's say your housing loan is already fully paid off. Would it be a good idea to remortgage it at this point in time? Number one, maybe for some spare cash. Number two, or even for investing. What are your thoughts?
Okay, yeah, you're right. The housing loan is the most cheapest loan that you can borrow. But since that your property have been fully paid, I believe that you can consider, but you need to do a more study on that because of the current situation. A lot of things change. So you can. I mean, for me, actually, I really looking forward to refinance to buy another house. Okay, so but I won't straight away buy, but I will observe, because if you see the crisis will last for 3 to 5 years to a certain extent, you don't need to fire a bullet now. You can observe for a while and see how the thing, because we also need to study a lot of things. A lot of things change. Even lifestyle also change. The preference also change. Business model also change. So you need to observe for a while before you straight away buy. It can be cheaper. Okay, it can be cheaper. Okay, or if you want to buy the stock, if you confident, then should be okay lah. But you need to do your study. You don't listen to tips, everything. You really do all and the business model can valid for maybe 5 to 10 years time. And horizon must be more than 5 years. Actually, for share margin is about slightly above the fixed deposit rate. So it's quite similar to housing loan, as per what I know.
No, you're right. Actually, don't worry. All our viewers are all they are no longer gamblers. Now they're all investors. So their minimum investment is 5 years. That's what we learned. So and now they have the tool and data to be able to look out for stocks and not buy a rumor or tips lah. So so that is the prerequisite. So you're speaking to those who have actually done it. You know, a bit more obedient now lah. A bit more down to earth. You know.
Okay, or you buy gradually, or you don't straight away buy in all lah. Maybe you buy some first. Then if drop further, then you buy further a little bit. Then if drop further, then you buy another one gradually.
So you think it's a good time, because even if I want to refinance my property today, it'll still take a few months, right? So is it a good time to actually start preparing? I mean, not to buy anything, but to prepare, maybe to refinance a property, maybe if it's fully paid off.
Possible. Actually, you can do so if you're confident on that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so I've just
because now the housing loan is really cheap.
Okay, cool. I know what to do tomorrow.
Okay, so if I mean, like here, you know, Alvin and I, we are in investing in equity. So of course, when people ask us, it's all about investing equities, lah, right?
Okay.
But for you, Chu Eu, what would your strategy be?
Actually, I'm student of equity tracker, you know.
Go stocks also.
I do invest in stock, but I also study some property. I also study some so-called cryptocurrency.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm looking on that lah, but I yet to do anything yet. I still observing. I still monitor. Because some people say that the second wave of the virus attack will be very tough. It will cause a lot of death. So that's why, according to the history, the second wave will be very tough.
All right. So, based on your experience, I'm sure you also have a lot of friends in the property sector, right? Do you think that prices of properties will come down further?
Possible, because it has been stagnant for a few years already, and more and more people might having a difficulty. A lot of people lose their job, and they might not able to service their loan. To a certain extent, it might release more supply into the market, and it will bring the property price down. And in some area, they have too much of supply, especially in some area like Johor.
Okay, thanks. Okay, this is like a case study lah. This is from Tommy Choi, right? He's asking, may I know if assuming the next EPF dividend in early 2021 is 5%, and I plan to buy a new car in 6 months' time, and if the HP loan is 2.5%, may I know better to utilize EPF money to buy a car in cash or take the HP loan?
You mean the car loan, right?
Yes.
Okay. For EPF interest rate, if we calculate all together, the EPF interest rate seen intercept is about 5.9 to 6%. So for HP, actually, it depends on local car or foreign car. Foreign car will be cheaper compared with local car. So normally foreign car is about 2% more, 2% plus to above 2%. For local car, it can be more than 3%. Okay, but it also depends on the Bank Negara interest rate. So I won't encourage you to use your EPF money to buy a car, because EPF money is meant for retirement.
Yeah, very true.
I also
it's
think
an asset, right?
5% dividend rate is a bit wishful thinking for 2020.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think properties, so I mean, any investment asset class would be good, but you know, car is eating up our money like every day, right? So I don't think so that would be a good way to actually utilize that fund.
Like it's a depreciating asset.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Chu Eu, there is a question here. Do you know by any chance which bank has the lowest home loan rate? This is by Tom.
This one you need to compare online already. You can compare a few bank. Actually, online you also can compare through the Ringgit Plus or my iMoney, or you can compare personally between a few banks. Then you search for the best. Look for the flexi loan actually.
Flexi loan,
Flexi loan. And
okay,
go for the flexi loan.
Flexi loan. I got one question here from Lisa, Chong Lisa. She's saying, look, now that it's low interest rate, is it worthwhile to refinance your mortgage, maybe perhaps to an Islamic loan where the interest rate is locked in?
If you can consider, okay, you must see how much the difference before you convert. What is the advantage? Compare these two. If not much different, I will prefer not to do anything about it, because you need to pay the S&P about 5 to 10% of the cost for refinancing. So you need to quantify all the costs involved and how much saving that if you refinance. If not, you should not do anything about it.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, here's Aswin. I'm not sure whether the question is for us or for Chu Eu. I said, can we do a topic on utilizing our EPF account to money on how to invest EPF related funds, or just leave it as it is?
Okay, a topic for next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, okay, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, but so we have this loan moratorium thing, right? But what about EPF? Do you think that people should also take because they have 500 ringgit a month cap, right? That they can take out from the EPF account. Do you think that's a good good step to take?
Sorry, here a bit raining. You wait me for a while. A bit noisy here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's why there's this echo, because it's raining.
Yeah.
Okay. I think for the viewers, Chu Eu is actually dialing in from Penang, so we're not in the same city at the moment. So there's no rain here, so maybe that's why the echo is not so bad.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So that's not what your question. Sorry, because here heavy rain.
Yeah. So we have been discussing about the loan moratorium. This from banks, right, for loans. But what about EPF withdrawal? Because they allow 500 ringgit a month for the next 6 months, right? Do you think people should take it as well?
Normally for EPF, is meant for retirement. So except that you're confident you can invest, your investment return can be more than 6%, then you can consider. Or maybe you have the emergency problem. Let's say you want to restructure your high interest loan, or you want to something emergency, or maybe you're confident your return more than 6 or 7%, then you can consider.
So of course, if that guy has a lot of credit card debt, then it's advisable, I suppose.
Yeah. Now is the good time to restructure your debt and also build out your emergency fund to prepare for the worst.
So would you consider, if you have stocks, if you have shares, because shares are so liquid, right? Would you consider that your emergency fund or not?
Maybe something like the REITs or the dividend paying stock.
Okay. Actually, we got one question here. Florence is asking, since you buy shares as well, Chu Eu, do you look at REITs?
Yeah, but for the office retail might be a bit tough nowadays. Especially the office REITs and also retail REITs might having some difficulty now. Maybe hospital REITs and healthcare and also the warehouse. Warehouse still okay.
Okay. Another question here. This is from 𝐷𝐸𝐿𝐴𝐵. Is it worthwhile to take out money from PRS since there is no penalty now?
PRS
PRS, yeah.
No penalty now. I didn't aware of it.
Yeah, I'm also not sure because the guy is asking a question.
Oh, I didn't aware that no penalty. Because for PRS is depends on the investment. If the investment is conservative, depends on the return. Actually, you need to study the average return of your PRS, whether it's worth to withdraw. Because some PRS is invest into the unit trust or equity balance funds. So it depends on the return. You need to study the return, the average return in the past, whether you want to withdraw it or not, and for what purpose that you want to withdraw.
Okay, so it still depends on your purpose, right? As long as you're able to get returns more than the one that you withdraw from, then it will be a good decision now.
Yeah, because if during this time, if it's a good investment, then I thought you should continue balance out or continue invest through the dollar cost averaging.
Okay. Do you have any other questions there, Alvin?
Yes, apparently. So Tommy asked that question. They say yes, according to PRS, they send a notification that you can actually withdraw without penalty for PRS. So I think it's yeah, I think that's happened in March. I think it was March.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then you need to review back the history of the return for the investment that you make, whether it worth to continue invest or you want to withdraw some of it to invest others, which is you are confident it will give you a more return than previous one.
Yeah.
Because the moment that you invest in PRS, there will be a service charge, So if you put out and put in, it will be like, it will trigger more transaction cost, the entry cost.
Okay. Chu Eu, there's one question here from YouTube. This is from Josh Wang Ui. He's saying, look, do you have any practical, like maybe top 3 practical steps on how to restructure your own loans right now, considering that it's low interest rate?
Okay, you need to categorize it. Which one give you which loan actually is high interest rate, especially the personal loan, credit card, or even some illegal loan. Or I don't think we have an education loan. Mostly personal loan and credit card loan, which is more than 10%. Then you can consider, let's say, utilize this 6 months. All the money that you supposed to use to pay the, let's say, housing loan or your car loan, you can use to clear off all the high interest debt first. Okay? Or you can utilize the asset that you own, okay, to pay off the high interest loan. High interest loan is the interest loan more than 10%.
What do you mean by utilize your own asset? Meaning refinance your property?
That is one of the way. Or maybe you have some others asset, maybe your fixed deposit or some of the investment, like even the PRS just now you mentioned, or any investment that you have. This is so-called a restructure the debt by using the asset, or you apply the low interest loan to clear off the high interest debt first.
So yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Or maybe you use this loan moratorium. The supposed money need to channel into a so-called a car and house. Then you use this 6 months of money, you go and pay off whatever credit card, personal loan that you have. That is the easy way.
Oh, great. Actually, there
or
was
the government allowance, or the government that give you a so-called bantuan prihatin, and that also can be utilized to pay out those high interest rate loan.
Actually, there was a much earlier question. I mean, from your guess, what do you think of percentage of Malaysians taking up the loan moratorium?
Percentage? How many people take?
Yeah. What's your just a gut feel? I don't know if you have a number or not.
I believe the percentage will be very high, because you see most people don't have the emergency fund in place.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some more in Malaysia. Malaysia economy about 90+% contribute by SME. So SME is not as strong as it is in terms of cash flow. So I believe that a lot of people will apply.
Yeah. Actually, I got one question from YouTube. This is from Shi Yuan. She's saying, or he's saying, that if my housing loan is a conventional loan, is it advisable to pay off the loan now?
Conventional loan. Then we need to study just like just now mentioned, what I mentioned in the slide. You need to take this crisis seriously, okay, for 3 to 5 years. If you are okay for that, your job still intact, your business still intact, then the interest rate is very low. Why you want to pay off now? Except that you have the mentality to have a so-called debt-free, then it's okay.
All right. I think I don't have any more questions. Do you have any more questions? Yeah, I guess I think a lot of people understood. Well, so if there's no other question, do you have any more questions, Alvin? If not, then we can wrap this up.
No, I'm good. Thank you very much for being here. To you, thanks for sharing.
No problem.
Yeah.
And guys, if you want to download his slides today, you can just WhatsApp us at 𝐷𝐸𝐷𝐸𝐴8408207 and that's the same WhatsApp number where you can also get a 2 weeks free access to our equities tracker platform. All right, so WhatsApp us at 603-8408-2070 and we will put a comment section there for you to get the number. All right.
Sorry, Chu Eu, one last question that popped up just when we were saying. This is quite an interesting question because for the Genius subscribers, as you all know, we are actually prepping a how to look at banking stocks. So stay tuned. It is on the way. But do you foresee non-performing loan to increase after September 2020? What are your thoughts?
Possible. And the bank that heavily depends on the interest business, it will be affected also because of the low interest. And also the moment that we practice the low interest, from Bank Negara announced a low interest rate, to a certain extent it might affect the bank that heavily depends on the interest business. I believe that Public Bank is one of it.
Yep.
All right. So guys, we're gonna have our meeting. Our session on banking, right? Which Alvin just mentioned. So this is only available for our subscribers, whether you are a member of our equities tracker or you are a Genius subscriber, right? So if you want to get more information, please call us or WhatsApp us at 603-8408-2070. So that's the number where you can actually communicate with us. All right. So if you want no more information, you can even call that number. All right. Okay. So
thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, just for information, all those viewers out there, Chu Eu also recently published his book on personal finance. Do you actually have a book next to you or anything?
I didn't. Wait, let me share. Just wait.
Yeah, if you guess, just a heads up to some of viewers. Chu Eu just recently published a book on personal finance, so you guys might want to check it out. Let's see if we can share that screen or not.
So it's about
master your finance, master your life. Yeah, so this is Chu Eu's book. So I sort of I caught him off guard because we didn't talk about this before, but I know he just when did you publish this book, Chu Eu?
November last year.
November, so it's quite recent, right? Yeah. So if you want to check it out, you guys can go and Google it and find out more, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we can include this in the slide, so if they are interested, they can get a copy of it as well.
And I will share it in the WhatsApp the slide.
In the slides, yeah. All right. Thank you very much again, Chu Eu. For all of you guys, we are back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Kopi time. Ask away. Ask all your questions. It's Ask Us Anything on Sunday. We start at 8 o'clock. Myself, Ricky, Peter, and Benny will be online. See you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m.
Right, and thank you for joining us and have a good weekend.
Thank you.